Hey everybody, welcome to Live Coding with Jesse. I'm Jesse, and today we're going to keep working on these React components. So I've just been like grinding through stuff yesterday and today. I have a side project now that I'm working on. It's like a blockchain wallet. So I was up last night late working on that too, which we're doing that in React Native, so that's kind of cool. But I'm just trying to like balance being able to work and trying to stay in that flow state and like going too far and getting burnt out. So right now, definitely not burnt out, just a little bit tired. Probably after I do the stream, I might get something to eat and do a workout, and then I should be good to go, and I'll go work on my side project. But maybe I'll let you know a little bit more about that project later on, and maybe I'll do something on my own channel. But for now, we're gonna work with. Let's see. I just noticed something. Yeah, I just noticed an issue with the faculty list item component. So that's what we'll start with. I'll show you what the issue is first in the UI, and then we'll go to the component and we'll fix that. And we may actually create an entirely new component, a new page today as well. But let's fix this first. So I think if I don't fix it now, I'll probably forget about it. All right, let me get my screen ready. I'll get my screen ready, and then also I'm going to set my Pomodoro timer. Okay, I got everything, the screen ready for you all. So let me switch it over. Okay. And I can't remember, it wasn't this screen. Which one was it? Let me check here. Okay, I think it was psychology and social work. Let's see. I think it was this page. Nope. Maybe. So I've been working on all these faculty list pages and making sure that in the router we have them in properly. And like halfway through the list of the faculty list pages, it the URL switched up. So sometimes it's just like the program slash faculty, so it would be like English slash faculty. But sometimes it changes, so it would be department slash English slash faculty. So for some programs it uses that, and for some programs it uses the other one. And there's no like, it's not like there's two URLs and they both go to the same place. It has to be one or the other. So I had to finish out the routing function to be able to handle things with 3 parameters, which we never really finished that because we didn't need it yet. So I had to do that and make some adjustments in the routing function. So check out the last couple commits if you're interested in that. But when I was doing that, I noticed this. So her last name is O'Brien, right? With a little what is it? Apostrophe? Yeah. I can't even think. A little apostrophe, right? So, and I know we fixed this issue before. Does anybody watching know how to fix this or remember how we did it before? I feel like I'm in class, but I just want to see if anybody else, how you all would fix this. I'll give you all a second, and I'll answer a question while I'm waiting. Cool Deep asks, can you give a rough idea for how you built your timer? I want to make it too. Actually, I did not build that timer. The timer that I'm using, it was built by Harshit, who's in this channel quite a bit. So if he's able to make it today, then we can ask him when he comes into the channel. I think his break's over and he's back to school though, so I don't think he'll be able to make it very often now. But I mean, this is early enough in the day that he might not be sleeping yet. So, Cool Deep asks, how can I contact him? Trying to think what the best way would be. I guess he's on Twitter. Yeah, send me a direct message on Twitter. My link's in the profile, or in the description of the video. The link to my Twitter profile is in the description of this video. Send me a DM, and then I'll connect you with Harshit. I don't want to like put out Harshit's Twitter info on the stream in case he doesn't want me to. Okay, so the way we're going to fix this is we're going to use dangerously set inner HTML, right? It's okay to do that because we have control of the content. Definitely do not want to do that if you're allowing users to enter in their own content and then have it display, because bad things could happen. Let's see. John also says, maybe you could find them with a regular expression, wrap them in a span. Sorry. Yeah, I should say, I mean, it's not like there's one way to deal with this, but we're just going to do the way that we've usually dealt with this. And we have the option to do it this way, like I said, because we have control of our data. This is not an option in all cases, though. All right. So, oh, that's way too small. Let me make that bigger. Okay, let me know if that's big enough, if I need to go bigger. And I don't need that sidebar to be that big. And there's not even anything on this page. So, alright, cool. So here's our faculty list. And so we're not actually going... Well, just to show you, on our faculty list page, we're taking in that data that we're getting from WordPress. One of the pieces of data that we're getting is the title, and that's the little bit that has that name with the apostrophe in it. So we're grabbing that data and we're passing it as a prop called profile name to our faculty list item component. So now let's go into the faculty list item component and let's find where we're using that profile name prop. Alright, so we've done our destructuring up here, so we can just say profile name. We don't have to use this props all the time, which is convenient. And let's find profile name. There it is. Okay, so you can see we're just putting profile name in here. We're not dangerously setting the inner HTML. So we're going to do that. To do that, I'm going to copy and paste where we're doing it here with our title. And it's kind of odd that I didn't think to do this before, since we're already doing it in, looks like, oh, just one other place. But what we can do here then is put in our profile name. I don't think we'll need to add the 0. I'm not sure why we have that in title. I don't remember what happened there that that made us have to do that. And then we can get rid of this closing tag and just add our slash in here. Let's save it and see if it works, see what happens. Hey, there we go. So now it's switched up and we can see this is displayed properly along, everything else was already looking good, but now that's displayed properly. So we don't have to worry about something like that happening again. So that's awesome. That's one quick win right off the bat. So I'm going to commit that. If you weren't with me yesterday, I had vowed yesterday that I was going to try to stick to my own advice of committing often. So I'm going to try to keep it up. Let's do git status. Yep, that's what changed. And so we can do a git add. Let's run our yarn cm. And we'll fix. And let's see. Faculty names with not displayed properly. And I don't think I ever made an issue about that because I just saw it not too long ago. So that should be good. We'll make sure it passes the test, and then we can push it. And lately I've been going through a lot of the open issues and just trying to close some of them because we were starting to get a lot of issues that were open. So the next one I noticed that shouldn't be too difficult to do is creating a template page for jobs. So this is issue 107. If you want to check out the Git repo for this, the link's in the description. Okay. So let me just explain what I want to do here, and if you want to follow along, you can read it as well in the issue. But so right now on the site we have job listings, and they're split up into two categories: faculty and staff. So the routes for these pages are going to be /HR/faculty openings and /HR/staff openings. So both routes are going to go to the same component to be rendered. But then within that component, we are going to grab the data and filter it. So we probably won't filter it. What we'll probably do is we're going to create a new GraphQL query, and we're only going to grab the posts, the job listing post for that particular category. We'll pull them in, we'll list them all in a similar way that we just saw with those faculty profiles, and then we'll need to make I'm going to double check on the current site, but I believe each one of them will have to have its own page as well. So it will be just like the faculty profiles, where you'll be able to click to learn more, and then it will open up its own page. I'll have to see what the URL should be for those as well. But the first thing we need to do is create the new component and create I can't talk today. Create the new component and create the GraphQL query. That's it. Okay. Yep, and it looks like everything passed. Wonderful. So we git push. That is now available on GitHub. Alright, so let's check out our pages folder. And let's see, make sure I didn't already make something for this. Nope. Alright, and since we already have the faculty list page up, and it's going to be similar to our jobs page, let's just copy and paste our faculty list page, and then we'll modify it and turn it into our jobs page. So we're going to select everything, copy it, and let's make a new file called jobs dot no, it'll be, let's make it job list. I could make it plural jobs and then also have a template for job, like just job, but I think it's way more clear if you add the list at the end. It's a lot easier to just mistake the two when there's only one character difference. So we're going to say job list.js. And then, depending on how much time we have, maybe we'll make the single job page as well. Okay, so we need to change the name here. So faculty list and faculty list. I was hoping I could just select all these, but I can't right now. So let's just call this job list, just a jobless component, and job list. Oops, I don't need that list. Okay, so we've changed the name, and this is now job list. We do have to remember to make a route for this in the router, or we'll never be able to get to it. Okay. We're gonna rename our query as well. So actually, you may be able to grab all the query stuff at once. So we go job list query, and we need to grab this from job list. So on our other panel here, let's work on our query, and we can, again, we'll be able to copy that query that we're already using and just adjust it. So in our queries, we'll take that faculty list query. We're going to copy that and make a new file. We're going to call this job list.js. Just paste it in there. And job list, was that? Can't remember if that's capitalized or not. Yep, it is faculty list. So we'll capitalize that for job list. And then let's change it here as well. Job list. And instead of faculty departments, I believe we can just say job. I may have to double check to make sure what I named that particular post type. Yeah, let's see. And then it's not going to be faculty. Yeah, let me go back a second. So we're not looking at departments. We're looking at. Yeah, I need to check. Let's go to our WordPress installation and check what we name these. Because I created this post type a long time ago. I believe I created the right taxonomy as well. If I didn't, then I need to make it, because that's going to be important. Okay, jobs. Oh, it I don't think I have any taxonomy set up. So we may be doing some PHP for a minute. Alright. Nope, there's nothing. Okay. Alright, let's do that quickly. Hopefully I have this repo downloaded already. On my other screen, I'm going to get this opened up. Okay, I think I do have it. Great, git pull. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to open this up and pull it over so we can check this out. Alright, so here is our plugin, our Franciscan custom post types.php file here. So here's our WordPress plugin, and we have jobs. We may as well look up what we name jobs. So it looks like it's job. Okay, so that's pretty simple to remember. But now we need to go down here to our taxonomies, and let's check this out. Student name, staff. Okay. Yeah, so we'll definitely need to add that taxonomy. So let's grab this staff departments code. We're going to copy and paste that to create a new jobs. Instead of staff department, we'll call this, we're going to create a new taxonomy, job category. You know what, now I remember why I didn't make this before. I was going to use the Advanced Custom Fields plugin to just make a like a field with it's a radio button that you can either pick staff or faculty instead of an entirely new taxonomy. But at this point, that's going to take longer, so I'm just going to do it like this. Hi, Gemma.
Hi.
Hi, do you want to say hi to people on YouTube?
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah. Do you sneak down here?
Mama's putting Cordelia.
Oh, Mama's putting Cordelia to sleep.
And I wanted to go to the ice cream shop, but Mama said no.
Alright, well, maybe a different time.
Well, she might let us.
Okay.
Because I really want to go, because we haven't been there in a really long time.
Okay. Do
Since
you wanna watch me code?
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta be quiet though, because we're gonna try to do something now. All right?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's take all these instances where it says staff department, and let's change it to job category, and we'll do the same thing here. You know what? Yeah, I guess it's okay. So I will need to start using that advanced custom fields plugin at some point. So maybe we'll do that on a stream. Let me know if you're interested in how we set that up and use it. I do need to double check and make sure that it will work with GraphQL though. Job. Category. Alright, so we're going to do job categories, and then down here we'll do the same thing. Whoops. We'll camel case them. For that WP GraphQL plugin, things need to be camel case. Alright. Oh, they're talking to you. This is my daughter. Her name's Gemma. And they say you're cute. Cute, Gemma. What are you doing? That microphone's not hooked up to the computer.
I know.
Okay. You're just checking it out. Okay. Alright. Actually, we're going to do... I'm going to save this. And... Whoops. This needs to be into job.
Why isn't this hooked to the computer if it's hooked up to these?
There we go. And you know, I think... You okay? I had a drink right there, but luckily it was in like a travel mug instead of just a glass. It would have been all over the place. Okay, so my timer's up, so I'm going to stop here before we check out to see if it'll work. So it'll be suspenseful while I answer questions for 5 minutes. So we're going to do a short break. I'm going to scroll all the way up to the top and try to answer as many questions as I can in 5 minutes, and then we'll go back to this.
What are the questions?
Well, let me see the questions.
Okay.
I see a lot of you just saying hi. So hey everyone. Deshmu says, sorry if I mispronounced that. Let me know how I should pronounce it. But anyway, they say, tell us more about that blockchain wallet side project. Okay, yeah, I'll briefly talk about that. It's so there is a website called Gitcoin. So it's Gitcoin. I can't remember if it's, maybe it's .io. I'm not sure. But anyway, the idea behind it is that you take open GitHub issues for projects, and then you set a bounty on them, and it's a certain amount of cryptocurrency. So if you solve that issue, then you get that bounty, right, in cryptocurrency. So I get emails occasionally from that website that'll just update me on some things I might be interested in working on. And I saw one, and it was using React, and it had a decent bounty on it. So I thought, hey, I'll try this out. But by the time I submitted a request to work on it, someone else had already requested it, so they got it first. But then I got to talking to the person that maintains that repo, and they were saying that they're also working on a different project that's porting this web app to a React Native app. And they asked if I had experience with React Native, and I said yeah, and I sent them some of my repos, and so now I'm working on that. So at this point, I'm just kind of working on UI stuff, so I have some sketch files about how it's supposed to look, and I'm trying to get that all sorted, as soon as I can. I think it's a really, really useful web app, and I really want to use the app itself. Last night I actually put in my info and saw it, and it's really cool. It gives you all your, basically you give it your MetaMask wallet address, and it lists out all your coins and then the value of your coins in, you know, whatever currency you select. Priyanka says, can you please tell me how to get a job if someone is new to coding? If you're new to coding, the best thing to do is like keep learning, keep working on projects, and you may, I mean, it depends a lot on where you're at and what your skill level is. But if you find, if there's like an agency or something where you work, or you know, a company that's doing websites or whatever you want to work on, you could ask them, submit your resumes, even if you're not hiring, and just say like, hey, I'll work as a contract worker, hourly basis or something. That could open up the door for you to work on projects that you wouldn't normally be able to get on your own, and clients that you would never be able to have access to on your own, since you're just trying to build up your reputation. So that's one way to do it. Another way is just to reach out to clients on your own. You know, small businesses in your area that might need, you know, work done. You can try websites that list work if you want. I've never had great luck with those. There's a lot of competition. You usually don't get paid that much. But if you don't have any other way to build your portfolio, that's a way to do it. I've even heard of people picking a business that has, let's say, like a terrible website and redoing their website for free, and then going to the business and showing them what they've done and saying that, would you be interested in, you know, in having this website? So, you know, these are just a few ways. I'm sure there's a lot more that I'm forgetting, but you know, basically your focus at this point should be just building up your portfolio, preferably with projects for real clients. But in the meantime, if you don't have paying work, try your best to keep learning, keep doing projects that at least you can put in your GitHub profile and in your portfolio. Desh Mook says, how does React.js work for search engine optimization? We are using server-side rendering for this, and you need to do that if you want to use React and you want to use data that you're pulling in from an API. You need to render it on the server side for search engines to see it. You can do that a variety of ways. The easiest way that I've found is just to use Next.js, because it comes automatically with server-side rendering. So that's what we're using right now. Okay, and my timer is up, so I'm going to have to come back and finish answering the questions after the next Pomodoro session. So let's see if we can get this component up and running. Hey, Gemma, I can't see my screen.
Okay. Are you looking at that one? Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to look at that one now. We're going to go back and do some more code. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's what else I'd like to do. I think it might not be a bad idea to add some more categories to the jobs. This could it could help users sort better, right? So let's add, in addition to adding this to the staff members, we're going to add it to jobs, job, and what is this, staff department, and there should be a faculty. Should be a faculty department as well. There we go. So faculty department, you can see, is already used on a variety of post types, and we're going to add in job to this as well. Alright, so now I'm just going to copy and paste this into WordPress. There are better ways to get your code into WordPress, but this would be the fastest way right now since I don't have other ways set up. And Gemma, try not to wiggle the chair. I'm going to get motion sick, and so is everybody watching. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to go down here to plugins, into our editor. And we're going to go to that Franciscan custom post type plugin. And now we can just copy and paste that. Oops, I accidentally hit save like it was in my editor. It's not. We're going to update that, and we should be able to see the changes immediately if we did it right. Maybe I didn't do it right. Let me give it a refresh. And now let's see. Where we at? Jobs. Yep, here we go. So now we have faculty department, staff department. Oh, and the category is called job. We don't really want that. I messed that up. Let's change that really quick because that's going to be confusing. So job. Yeah, we need to say job category up here.
I know how to spell job. It's easy. J-O-B.
There we go. Job category.
Category.
Okay. Alright, so save that, copy it, and we still have this up on the screen, which is good. We'll update that, and that should work now. We'll give it a refresh. And there we go. Now it says job category, so that's wonderful. So now if we go into jobs, we should have, there we go, we have all these options, and if we were to go into this job, clinical nursing instructor, we can see that we can select these things here, and we can add a new job category. So we could say faculty as one category and staff as the other. So now faculty and staff are there. Alright, now clinical nursing instructor would be a faculty position, so we're going to uncheck staff. Okay, and then we can say within our faculty department, we can check nursing department, update that, and now if we go back to check all our jobs, see, now we can see our department and our category. Oh no, did I mess up category? I misspelled category. No. Alright.
Well,
I think I spelled it right in the slug, so that's good because it won't mess up too much. C-A-T-E. Yeah, I spelled it right in the slug. So that's really what matters more, like for the database. So let's change it here.
I definitely really like it. I am just writing the first letter.
Okay. Are you coding in your notebook?
It's actually Mom's. I just found it.
So Gemma's over here writing the code that we're writing. She's writing it in a notebook. So she's coding along with us. Okay. Third time's a charm here, right? Let's paste this in, and now we'll have the right spelling. Thanks for letting me know about that. Plugin.
I made my finger beautiful because I accidentally put glass down too hard and it broke. It was like one of those wine glasses that go up. And then there's one thing in the middle.
That's too bad, baby. Shouldn't use those glasses, huh? Okay.
Well, I used to use one, but then it broke. Could you either pushed it off or something? Yeah.
There we go. All right. So that works now, and now we can commit this change and push it up to GitHub. So let's see, git add and git commit what are we gonna say? New feature. I'm gonna say add job category. Taxonomy and apply taxonomies to job post type. All right, great. And so now this plugin is tracked on GitHub, so you can check that out if you want to. And now we'll be able to do this. So
Be able to do what?
here's what we need.
What do we need? Will we be renting the TV and headphones?
All right, so let me think how we're going to do this. I guess the first thing that we want to filter by, I guess, is actually let's think about this. So right now, let's go to the site right now. I'm trying to think of if we could create a better user experience than what we have right now. All right, so let's go through the steps that a user would take if they wanted to find a job listing to work at Franciscan University.
Dad, I'm gonna do it like this, so it's like kind of like computer screen.
If we're gonna do this now anyway, we may as well give this some thought. We don't have to copy the actual user experience, as it currently is.
Dad, I'm putting it like this, so it'll be like.
Yeah. Okay, so we've come to the site and probably about and employment and human resources. Okay. So now that I'm here, I either click see open faculty positions or see open staff positions. Let's open both of them, because I believe these pages are pretty much the same. Let's see. Yeah, so faculty openings, these are all the same links. Okay, this is pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much the same. The only difference that I could see, I mean, there's a different image in the background, so no big deal because we're not bringing images over right now anyway. So here's my idea. What if in the router we made it so that both of those routes would go to the same page, and from there, then you could have filters like we did with the search page, like we've done with other projects. And one of the filters would be, do you want faculty openings or staff openings? I really think that's better because, I mean, to be honest with you, it's entirely possible that someone might just want to work here, and they may be looking for any opening, faculty or staff. Perhaps they do have a higher degree and they're qualified to do a variety of things. They come in here, you know, if they've clicked on one, let's say they didn't do like we did and open up new windows for both, which probably would be the best way to go about this, how it's currently set up. But let's say they didn't. And then they'd have to go to a different page to look at the different openings, right? There's actually no way to sort these at all. So you could see, like, there's not that many jobs right now, but it still would be nice to sort them. Occasionally we do have a lot of openings. So, you know, if we had, what is that, like 10 openings, somewhere around there? No, just guessing. 10 openings plus another couple openings in faculty, like that is enough openings that, you know, maybe you might want to sort it, right?
Like 10 people can come in.
In my mind, I'm just thinking, like, when I've gone before to sites to try to find a job, it's a little bit annoying to have to scroll through a lot of things that I'm not even interested in or qualified for, to try to find, you know, the one thing, especially if I've heard from someone like, hey, they're hiring, you know, somebody here, and I go to check it out and I got to scroll through all this stuff. It's a lot nicer if I could just search or click a category and go right to it. So if we're trying to attract candidates, I'd rather get as many applications as possible here. And the best way to do that is to make it easier. So anyway, let me know what you think. Am I overthinking this or not? Either way, I don't know. We've already made the categories. We've made the taxonomies in WordPress, so, you know, we may as well utilize them. At the very least, there'll be one less link that we have to include in the menu. So we'll just say, you know, employment opportunities or something like that as the link. And I think that would be better. Hey, Gemma.
These cords are all
Yeah, don't mess with the cords. You'll unplug all this stuff.
They're all tangled.
Yeah. Alright, so let's do that then. So what we'll do here then is we're going to grab, this is going to be simplified now, because we're not going to do any filtering within our query. We're going to leave that all up to the component. So we're just going to grab everything. So let's clean this up a bit, and let's get rid of this part. We won't need this anymore. And let's see, we do need the slug, we need the name. I don't know if what do we have now? You know what, they have these images, but I don't think these, it's just the same image over and over. Occasionally we throw in a different one. So I don't think images are necessary right now. Let's see what the big page looks like. I wonder where they're pulling this from, if this is a separate thing. Okay. Interesting. Okay, for now, I'm not going to show any of this stuff. We'll just leave it with the title. And then we'll see what we have. We'll see if we want to add some more in. So basically we just need the name and the slug. And we don't want want faculty departments, and we don't need where, right? Because we just need jobs, and we don't need this part. Actually, that's a. Let's test out our. Let's test out our query first. So we're going to go in here and use our little tool here. So our GraphQL. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, but there's an I in there, so I'm going to say GraphQL. And let's see if this query works. There we go. Oh, there you go, getting save again. Nope. Alright, what did we do wrong? Name. Okay, so evidently name is not an option. Okay, so we can get the jobs, which is definitely cool. So we get the jobs, and but we can't use name. Let's see what we can use. Yep, we can use title. Great. Alright, cool. Is that all the jobs that we have? I thought we had more. Where's that at? Whoa. Yeah, we definitely have a lot more. Hmm. Hmm. I wonder if we have some type of like limit. Is 10 the default? I'm gonna have to check the documentation for that WP GraphQL plugin and see what the defaults are for the number of posts it returns. Yeah. Okay, but for now, at least we can get some data back. So we don't. Yeah, we actually don't need all this right now. We could take this down a little bit more. Let's see, we got job list. Okay. Slug. Let's. Faculty list item. Do we have? I wonder if we could use the faculty list item. Yeah, we're not doing any checks right now to make sure any of this content is coming in. All right, I'm thinking about making this a little bit more reusable. You know what? We do have some really specific things going on though. All right, I hate making another component that's like so specific, but actually, you know what? Let's wait. Let's test it first. So what we can do then is instead of this, let's just say, what do we have? Okay, this data. So let's say job. Let's call this job data. Jobs data, and then in here we'll switch this up. The job, and we're actually going to get rid of most of this, and we don't need it to be like that. See, because our data is going to come back like this, so it'll be data, jobs, edges, and that's what we'll need. So it'll just be data, jobs, edges. Okay, so that's our jobs data. That's what we're going to map over. So each one is going to be a job. We have our slug, that'll work. And then here we're going to do our, let's see, job node title. We're just going to put this inside of an H1. Let's do an H2 because that'll be big. So let's add job node title. And up here, we're not using this, so let's get rid of this. And let's save both of these. See if this works. Hopefully I didn't mess this up too much that it's broken now. But we can go to, let's see if the route's there. I doubt the route is there. About HR. Faculty opening. Nope. So that route's not there. Let's add the route in our server. Actually, let's. I wonder if we have an HR spot already anyway. Oops. I think that was it. HR. Okay, so we have our HR page. Let's change this up. So this is the default. It just defaults to page. But then we also want, when we get faculty openings, we want it to render from our new jobs list. Is that what we called it? No, we called it job list. Okay, so we want it to render to that. And then with our type, whoops. Our type should be okay because we're not actually using the type at all. And then for our ID, will we need an ID? I don't think we'll need an ID. Not yet, at least. Okay, so let's save that. See at least if we can get it to render. Oh, there we go. It was the server's restarting. Alright, so that's not working. What did we do? Alright, let's see what our error is. Which, y'all can't see that. Here we go. Oh, a GraphQL syntax error. Okay. Alright, so I messed that up. Let's see. Let's see what this query is. Nah. Just trying to find a similar query to what we need. I don't write queries often enough to be good at them. It seems like I'm always name jobs. All right, unexpected name jobs. That's what it did work for us here, right? Yeah. And see what we get. Oh, it worked. Great. Just see, Nikki just said extra set of braces needed. Yep, that was it. Nice. Alright, cool. So what we have when we go here to faculty openings is a list of openings. Awesome. Really cool. Awesome. So that works. So I believe my timer went off again, or at least it's close to it. Yeah, the timer went off again. So basically from here, what I will do is I'll put a little title up here so we know what page we're on. And then I'll add in some, I don't know where I'll put them, maybe on this side. Basically, I'll add in some options so that users can filter. I'll figure out how to have more than 10 at once. Excuse me. And then I'll add in routes. So we're going to have a route for staff opening that'll go to the same place, and then we'll just have a route for job openings, and that's what we'll link to. But just in case somebody had bookmarked this, it'll still take them to the right place. They just may need to click the button. And then eventually, you know, as people get used to the new link, you know, we won't really get visits to the old links anymore. Okay. Alright, cool. So I'll probably keep working on this a little bit so I can get it to a point where maybe I can just make a commit. I mean, really, at this point, it does work. So I mean, I could commit this. It's not like I'm committing it in a broken state. But I want to get back to your questions now, and I'm going to try to answer all your questions, and then we're going to wrap things up. Oh, Nikki said it still has no idea what a taxonomy is. Let me... Alright, so a taxonomy is just a category or a tag in WordPress. So it's just a way to organize posts. Alright. Dickie Allen says, I'm currently going through the freeCodeCamp curriculum and applied CSS still, and I have gotten pretty far in a Python Udemy course. I'm starting to understand object-oriented programming in Python. Is there a good place to really find out what you should focus on? Like what skills give results in particular fields? I'm not sure what I really want to do. I like JavaScript though. It's saying, like, is there a site that covers specific languages and what you get out of them? Huh, interesting. I'm not sure that there's a site that does that. Just in general, if you want to be in web development, JavaScript's definitely the way to go. You're not stuck with web development. You can develop apps with React Native and JavaScript. There are ways to do machine learning with JavaScript. There are even ways to do VR and AR stuff with JavaScript. But in terms of like machine learning, Python seems to be the most popular. If you wanted to do native apps, I don't know how much Java is still used, but that's what you used to use. And then with iOS, you'd want to learn Swift. If you really wanted to work on Microsoft stuff, maybe you might want to learn, C Sharp and .NET Framework stuff. So, yeah, so I don't know a site that lists all of that. If anybody knows of anything like that, it would actually be pretty useful. So please let us know. Hopeway says, may you explain the register taxonomy object, the booleans and other values, etc. Where are those values defined? All right, let's check it out. So, register taxonomy. So, a lot of this is just extending what's already in WordPress core. So, we're not really like, building up our own programming stuff here. We are just telling WordPress, hey, WordPress, you already have this function called register taxonomy. Like, here's all the arguments that function takes to create a new taxonomy. So you could see, like, I don't know if it's different terminology for Python, but like for JavaScript land, like, all right, this is your function, and all your arguments are within these parentheses. So first off, we're saying the name, job categories, and then we have an array. The second parameter here is, okay, what is this going to apply to? And so we give it an array of the slugs for each post type that we want it to apply to. And then the third parameter is an array of all these attributes that we would like it to have. So, all these attributes are options. There are even more than this, but these are all options that we can set for our particular taxonomy that we want it to have. So, for instance, we want it to be available in the REST API. We want it to be available through GraphQL. So hopefully that explains a bit. I don't know enough about WordPress core to like really go through more of it. This top part here, this is the labels array. So like that gets inserted here. So this one is just, I mean, you can see how it would be a mess to put it right in here. So obviously, like we make this variable for that. So the labels, these all have to do with how you will display this in the UI, the WordPress admin UI. So these are just the names that we give to, those different spots. So that's why, like, even though I had spelled category correctly down here and actually said job category, when we looked in the UI, it only spelled job. And then when I tried to fix it, it spelled job category, but category was spelled wrong. Because, this is just the display stuff. All right, let me know if I didn't answer your question properly or if I misunderstood it. Dicky also asked, is there a good reference for what to charge clients? If a figure would be good to charge less or to do stuff free at first, but you don't want to kill the job market. Yeah. So, yeah, in general, like, you want to get experience, right? But you don't want to sell yourself short. So yeah, when you first start out, there are probably going to be times when you'll do work for less than you really want to do it. But what you're doing is, basically, you could consider yourself in a paid internship at that point because you're still learning, and anything you get from a client is going to be better than just doing side projects on your own and not getting paid anything. So you find a client that you know, maybe something that you think will be good for your portfolio, and try to get what you can. But at that point, it's not necessarily about the money, because you're trying to build yourself up to where you could actually make the money. So if you need money, right away, then you may need to do some other jobs that are non-coding related to get the money. I mean, I did when I was starting out. But you want to transition into, hopefully, like building. So each new client you get, you'll be able to charge a little bit more, hopefully get into bigger projects, more steady work. But you got to build somewhere. So you got to start up building your portfolio so that you can justify your price to the client, so that you can prove to the client that you're going to bring value to them based on your past projects. So that you can point to this and say, I did this website for this small business. It was similar to yours. Their profits increased by this much, after the website launched. Something like that, right? If you can prove that, then it'll be worth so much. So even if you didn't get paid that much to do it the first time, after that you can quantify your value, the value of your work, to clients. And then what you're going to get paid is not going to be based on, what somebody thinks you're worth. It's going to be based on the value that your work will bring to them. As in, if you do this project for them, they will make an extra, I don't know, $5,000 a month, right? Then your work is worth close to $5,000 a month, right? Because they're going to come out on top from that investment. Hopefully that makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to approach pricing. That's just kind of one of the ways. But like I said, when you're just starting out, the idea should be figure out what you like to do and build up a good portfolio. And then it's going to be a heck of a lot easier to get those higher paying clients. And make sure you're really professional. Like, make a good name for yourself, especially locally. If word gets out that you're not reliable, you'll have a much harder time getting work. It's, if you're trying to get remote work from different places, maybe it won't get out. But with the internet, like, you don't want to ruin your reputation right away just because you think, oh well, this guy's not, this client's not paying me that much anyway. No, you just, be professional no matter what you're making, because you never know what kind of referrals you could get or what kind of damage it could do if you get bad reviews. Chad says, do you have videos for creating custom themes for WordPress? Actually, no. I've never done a custom WordPress theme video. So usually I don't make WordPress themes. I just use their REST API or GraphQL with WordPress to pull out the data. And sometimes I just delete the themes. I don't use them at all. But I mean, some of these things, like being able to make new post types and taxonomies, they could definitely help you if you're building a theme. World says you should be vice president of dev. You know what? They should make that position and give it to me. That would be awesome. Alpha says, how cool is Visual Studio Code's integrated terminal and debug console, huh? Oh yeah, for sure. I love it. I love it. So convenient, especially when I'm trying to stream. It's all there right on one screen. I don't have to flip around between screens. Hey, Harshit made it. Harshit says, I'm busy these days, tons of schoolwork. That's why I'm inactive. Yeah, I figured you had school. I remember you telling me. So, yeah, don't worry about it. School comes first for sure. Francis says, asks Cavs or Warriors. I don't know. I don't really have a basketball team. So like growing up, there's no basketball team close to me. Uh, I usually side with like all Pittsburgh teams because I grew up close to Pittsburgh, but they don't have a basketball team, so it was never a big thing for me. I guess if I had to pick, I would say Cavs because that they're like as close as I have to a hometown NBA team. All right, Stacy says hello. Hey, hey Stacy, how's it going? World says, how do you avoid getting tired of coding? I can only code like 30 minutes a day. Hmm. I don't know. I guess I mean probably two things. Like one, I do enjoy coding. No, there's three reasons why I can code for a long time. One, I enjoy coding. Number two, I have years of experience of coding for long periods of time. So I've built up my mind to be able to handle that, right? Um, because I think it's like your body, right? You couldn't just go out and run for hours and hours if you haven't run that much before, right? It's the same way with coding. Like you couldn't just sit down and code for hours and hours. Your brain would be really tired, right? So, and the third reason is money, right? I have to pay the bills. So if I'm going to get paid to code all day, like I'm going to code all day because if I don't, like my family is not going to have anywhere to live, or they're not going to have anything to eat. My kids won't be able to, um, have any toys or games or anything like that. So that's also if all else fails, the fact that I have to do it for my job will keep me coding. Oh, okay, Nikki was saying that page also needs a dangerously set HTML. Does it? Am I bringing in? It does, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to do that. I mean, for right now, I just wanted to make sure that that query worked. But yeah, you're right. It when I start styling that for real, it's going to be uh, dangerously set inner HTML to avoid this kind of stuff. Let's see. Oh, okay. Is it? All right. So I guess at some point you couldn't hear me. Sorry about that. It's possible maybe I covered up the mic. Hopefully it's all right now. Gabru says, "How can I learn JavaScript?" There's a lot of different resources you can use to learn JavaScript. I recommend checking out freeCodeCamp. So freeCodeCamp.org will steer you in the right direction. You can also, it depends on how you like to learn. If you like to read books to learn, check out the book series called You Don't Know JS. And if you also, Eloquent JavaScript is a good one. And then if you like YouTube videos, the Free Code Camp YouTube channel has some good tutorial videos as well. All right. Question is, please could you clarify how to jump from HTML to Sass in Visual Studio Code? CSS Peak only works with CSS, SCSS less. In Sublime plugin, go to CSS definition and allows me to jump to Sass. Thanks in advance. I have no idea how to do that with Sass, so I don't use that feature in Visual Studio Code. So if anybody else uses that, please let us know in the chat. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't help you with that because I don't use it. Yamamoto says, how's the health insurance in the developer world? I don't know. My health insurance is pretty good, and I do work for a university, so it's a little different. It's not like a tech company or anything. Um, Most of the job descriptions for developer jobs here in the United States that I've seen do include health insurance. So I'm not sure about what it's like in other countries, but at least in the United States, you should probably expect to get health insurance from a developer job, and it seems rare that insurance isn't offered. Mad Duchess says, I think that the You Don't Know JS has an entire series on GitHub for free. Yeah, for sure. It's for free. So both of those books that I mentioned, you can get online for free. Hopeway says, usually in a well-made site, how much of it is custom-made and how much depends on frameworks and APIs? It just depends. It depends. And custom-made is not always better. There's frameworks are very helpful, and they have been tested in a lot of situations. So they can definitely be less buggy than something custom-made. Hey, I have more kids here, so let me switch it up. There we go. There's Raphael and Gemma. You gonna say hi? Alright. So yeah, I mean, I would. I mean, it entirely depends. If you see a well-made site, maybe it's custom, maybe it's all frameworks. It's just the quality of the site is not dependent on how much is custom and how much is frameworks, in my opinion. John Hansen says, freeCodeCamp put up your How Live Coding Changed My Life YouTube video on their channel. Oh, cool. Cool. I thought they might put that up. I didn't know they did, though. That's awesome. Mad Duchess says, well, cuties. Yeah. And we have Happy Father. Yeah. Yeah, I love being a father. All right, and I've gotten to the end of the chat. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me while I do my work and catching my mistakes, which is super helpful. And it's the end of the week, so I don't think I'll be doing any streaming over the weekend. You never know. If I do, it maybe just might be something real low-key in my own channel, which you can find the link to my channel in the description. Also, I promised I wouldn't mention this very often, and I haven't talked about it all week, for a week at least. I did start a Patreon page, so you can find the link from my YouTube channel in the description to some of my newer videos and things. So if you're interested in maybe supporting me, only if you have a little extra to spare, but if you do, please check out my Patreon channel, and I'm not going to spam you with requests. I'll mention it occasionally, but it would really help me out to be able to do things like get better equipment for streaming, or potentially dedicate more of my time to creating content for you all. So Yeah, so any little bit helps. I really appreciate it. And if you have any suggestions for things that you'd like to see on my Patreon, like reward levels and things like that, let me know, because I'm definitely new at it and I'm not sure what you all want. I'm just kind of guessing at this point, so let me know. All right, cool. So I'll see you all again on Monday, and until then, have a wonderful weekend.